How I scaled from $0 to $10,000 per day fast. So as you guys can see on the screen right now, this is today right here. As you can see, $10,000 on the Shopify Analytics. So now let's get into the rest of the video. First of all, you want to obviously find a winning product. You want to test it, you want to validate it. And once you have done those things, you have to find the variables that work and will ultimately allow you to scale. Because before scaling, ideally you want to be at 25 to 30% net profit margins. So in order to do that, you have to do a few things that I'm going to speak about in this video. So testing. So you want to test 5 creatives per day to consistently find new top performers. So you want to mainly test ideations and iterations. So basically what that means, an ideation is a new concept that you have found by doing research, whether that's on ChatGPT, deep research, whether that's yourself actually going through your customer complaints and finding something that they're all constantly talking about, and then making a concept based on that. And you want to test images and UGC content and also edited content. So you need to get an editor, or you can do it yourself in the beginning. The next thing is you want to test 1 to 2 offers per week. And the offers that I use to test, I'll go over in the next slide, and I'll go more in depth into them. And the next thing is you want to test 1 landing page every 2 weeks. So you want to use a software called Replo. And on Replo, you want to design a pre-lander that has all the messaging that speaks to your ideal customer. And in order to find that, again, it goes back to the research. Next, you want to use a new domain page and everything fresh. So the reason that you do that is so you don't get bad feedback scores on the pages and your domains, etc., don't get flagged. So now we have offer testing. The 4 main offers that I like to test, and you can make a lot of different variations of these, is buy one, get one free, price reduction, quantity breaks, and product free add-on. So the way I like to structure buy one, get one free is I work out the price of 2 units and I just add $20 on the front end, and then I do $5 shipping. Another thing you can do to also increase your AOV is if you use Shrine Pay Theme, you can add shipping protection, set it at $2.99, and that'll add an extra $3 to your AOV. And price reduction is pretty straightforward. So let's say your retail is $29.99, you minus $5 on the front end, and you just add that onto shipping. So you make the front end $24.99, and you do $5 shipping. Next thing is quantity breaks. So if you see in the initial test that a lot of people are buying more than one product, what you do is you set up a quantity break. So you do buy 1, buy 2, and buy 3, and you do a discount for the more they get. Next thing is product free add-on. So you want to do a free gift. I've seen a mystery gift work really well with some products, or you can do like an ebook or something that's actually related to the product of what you're selling. Honestly, you could probably get around 20 to 50 variations, if not more, using these offers right here. But these are the 4 main offers that you want to use. So next we have ad structure testing. So in order to scale, you have to find out what your ad account likes. And obviously the main thing is going to be the creatives you offer and the landing page. However, you might find one of these works better than all the others, right? So you want to test big caps, cost caps, ASC, which is automated shopping campaign, CBO, which is campaign budget optimization, and then you want to test broad targeting and interest targeting. And you also want to test ABOs. Now, for the full breakdown to how to set all of those up, I can make a complete video showing how to set all of these up. So if that's something you want to see, just drop a comment down below. Next thing, so big caps and cost caps. So if they are working, then you want to duplicate the successful campaigns. And first you just let them run. You test them for 2 to 3 days before making any adjustments. Once you've seen that they're doing well, they're getting a really high ROAS, netting like 30%, then you can start duplicating and you can use them to scale. So creative testing. So what I like to do now is create a new ad set inside of my CBO. And I do 1 concept per ad set, and I do 2 primary text, 2 headlines, and 2 landing pages. So I do 1 that goes directly to the product page, and another landing page that actually correlates to the messaging on that ad and on that copy. So everything is all congruent and it's all targeting the same ideal customer avatar. So next obviously is understanding your customer, right? So this comes back to research. So I encourage each and every one of you watching this video to really read and understand breakthrough advertising. The key things that you want to understand is beliefs, desires, identity, the market sophistication, and the market awareness. The beliefs is the beliefs that people already have that are most likely to buy your product. And desires, right? Desires are things that already exist. You cannot change them, you can only channel them. So once you figure out the desire for people wanting to buy your product, then you can channel that through your marketing, through the messaging in your ads, in your copy, in your landing page, and that is what is going to get them to convert. Identity. So this ties into what people who will buy your product identify as. If Toyota did an ad for a Prius, they're most likely going to advertise to a soccer mom. They're not going to advertise to a guy in a suit because it doesn't align with the identity of the person who drives a Prius. If you're trying to sell a Rolls Royce, on the other hand, then they usually have a guy in a suit in an ad wearing a nice watch, wearing nice glasses, etc. Right? Because that is the target audience of people who are going to buy their car. The same goes into marketing for e-commerce. You have to understand the identity of your ideal customer avatar, so the people who are going to buy your ad, and it sort of ties into the law of attraction, right? So you want to sell them the dream outcome, and you want to make all the benefits of your product look like heaven, and all the negative things, the problems that they're facing, make them look like hell. But obviously you can go much deeper into that, but this is just surface level, just so you get an understanding of how to scale to 10K per day. So surf scale. So this is what I do personally, right? So let's say a campaign is doing very good on the day. I gradually increase the budgets and I maintain profitability while monitoring performance. So I increase the budget 20% every 2 hours or every 2 purchases. And what I do is I see how the ad account performs. So if the ad account performs well, I keep increasing it until I see a dip in the performance. And then I usually set a threshold there. And what I found is every ad account has a ceiling for the maximum budget that you can do. So once you reach that ceiling and you figure out, okay, this is the most I can push these campaigns. And in order to scale more, you have to create new campaigns with new creatives and get those to the same budget. And another thing you can do as well is you can surf on the day, reset it back to what you spend, and now you're gonna set a new threshold. And even if it's break even the next day, it doesn't matter. You keep the spend the same because it's a new threshold and you're in a new section of the bidding algorithm in Facebook. The budget testing, especially when you're scheduling new campaigns, this is more so for horizontal scaling. You want to test different budgets. So you want to find a sweet spot that consistently gives campaigns a ROAS that nets 30%. So if you're doing a 2.3 ROAS and you're netting 30% and you're seeing that big caps are getting you 2.3 ROAS consistently, right? Now you want to test different budgets. So maybe you're doing $200. Now you want to test 300, 400, 500, and you want to find the sweet spot and then you want to double down on that. So killing/moving on. This is more so if you're testing a product, right? So if the campaign overall reaches negative 1,000 in performance after scaling, I stop all campaigns and I move on to the next product. Honestly, I do less right now. I only let a campaign run or a product for 3 days. Then I analyze the data, and if it's not profitable, I usually turn it off. If it's got a lot of buying intent and the conversion rate is low, then I know it's an offer problem or a landing page problem. So I usually fix that, let it run for 7 days, and then if it's negative like 500 to 1,000, I turn it off. And it obviously depends on your budget, right? So it can be as little as $300, but I've also seen people go negative 3K before killing. So it is personal preference. But again, in my opinion, you only need 3 days to test the product to see if it's actually a winner or not. So documentation and continuous improvement. If you don't learn from your mistakes, how are you meant to grow? So if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same outcome. You want to keep detailed records of the test results for each offer, ad structure, creative, etc. What I do is I write all of my tests in an Excel sheet and I track all of them. Then you want to refine the system based on performance data to improve your future campaigns and your product testing. So let's say you get one winner. You want to write down exactly how you found that winner, what made this product different to all the other products that you've tested, what maybe the landing page is better, maybe the ads are better, etc. You want to write that down, figure it out, and double down on it. And you want to forget all of the existing learnings that haven't yielded you any fruit. Omnichannel, right? So this is very important, especially for scaling to $1 million months. you want to have TikTok, Google, Pinterest, and Snapchat. Obviously, Meta and Google are going to be your two biggest channels, but if you're not utilizing all of them, you're going to get left behind. So identifying the winning elements, right? So you want to find the best performing ad structure, the best performing creatives, offer, ad copy, and demographics through testing, right? So you want to test all those things, find the best structures, and then double down on these winning combinations by either duplicating successful campaigns, or you can just keep testing more creatives and have a vertical approach to your campaigns. So what that means is you're just testing creatives in, let's say, 5 CBOs, and you're scaling those CBOs vertically. So rather than having multiple campaigns with lower budgets, you're scaling vertically with bigger budgets and less campaigns. So vertical scaling. So if you see your ad account likes fewer campaigns, in order to scale, you must increase the budgets on days it performs well and hold on days it doesn't. So let's say you start a campaign at $200 and you surf it up to $1,000 and it spends $500. Now you want to reset it to $500 and then you want to rinse and repeat. So let's say the next day it does good, you want to do the exact same thing. Surf it up, whatever you can, and then reset it to what it spent. And if it performs badly 1 day, 2 days, I leave it 3 days. If it does badly, leave it on, otherwise you risk messing with the optimization and losing your place in the bidding algorithm. Ideally, you want to have 1 campaign per product for scaling and 1 master testing ABO campaign for testing different variables. I like to do 1 to 5 campaigns for scaling. So again, it does depend on your ad account, but this is more so for vertical scaling. So with that being said, guys, I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe. And if you are interested in one-on-one coaching, click the link down below, book a free demo call, and we'll see if you qualify.